Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Sam Scalik here. Today we are here with Austin, who just went undefeated at our locals with what deck?
Dinomorphia.
Dinomorphia. Let's get into the deck profile. Show us how you won.
Alright, so we'll start out with the monsters first. You gotta play Triple Thursday. She's your best card, best normal summon, best card in general. Her effects is when she's normal summoned, you can immediately set a trap directly to the field from the deck. So she can't get ashed, which is super good. And if your life points are lower than 2,000, she can gain 500 attack. She goes 2k. And then all the Dinomorphia monsters have effects where if they get destroyed by battle any way, they can reborn the Dinomorphia from graveyard. This one and the other level 4 that I'll show only special summon level 4 or lowers. So 3 of her, she's your main. And then I run 3 Diplos. Some people run 2, and I see why people run 2, because he's technically bad to draw. But if you draw him late game, he's actually kind of crazy, because his effect is on normal summon. You can Foolish Burial a Dinomorphia card, which makes your Kentrigina, which you'll see later on in the extra deck, literally be any negate, pop, fusion spell, anything you want. Because Kentrigina copies a trap in graveyard. This just foolish as anything you need. And then he also has the effect to where he reborns Thursday from grave when he dies.
That's cool.
And then this card was one of the MVPs of the tournament yesterday, Wannabe. This is a newer card, so for anybody that doesn't know what this does, during either player's turn, you can pitch this from your field or hand to the graveyard. Excavate the number of unused spell or trap zones your opponent controls from your deck, and you can set a trap directly from that excavator pile to the field. So you can set like Skill Drain, goes in, your normal traps, anything. That's the only restriction. And then we play, I think, 6 spells. At least on my turn. I'm not special summoning. It's always going to be on my opponents with my traps. So this is just free. And then I added this actually last night, Triple Fossil Dig. I was playing the Zark engine instead of this, but I ended up taking the Zark engine out because it just doesn't do enough. But this lets me search Therzia to set a trap I know I want immediately, instead of just like banking on the draws to see everything. And then traps. We play a lot of traps. We play Triple Frenzy. Frenzy is your fusion spell. You pay half your life points for cost, and then you fusion summon from your deck and extra deck. And then if I have 2,000 or less life points, I can banish this and take no effect damage the rest of that turn, which actually comes up a lot. So like, against my round 4, I was playing against Melfi Sprite, and he made Mosquito, and that card burns you. So my normal traps can stop the burning, which is really good because I'll be at like 63 life points. So all the normal traps have that effect where if you would take effect damage, you can banish them from the graveyard and take no damage. And then I play 2 Domain. A lot of builds play 3. I think 2 is the perfect number because if you're going through like frenzies and stuff, you don't want to run out of, the main purpose of this card is diffuse from the deck. If you run out of your cards, this is dead most of the time. So that's why I only play 2. I don't want to brick on the 3rd one and not be able to, resolve it. It's a dead card the whole time if that comes up. It did come up once that I did use all my monsters, and the second one was a break because I couldn't use it. But at like Only time it happened, so it's only very niche that it's going to happen. But yeah, pay half your life points, fusion summon from field or deck. And then it has the banish effect from graveyard. If you take effect damage, you can not take the damage.
Nice.
I played one alert. Alert is actually crazy. Like a turn 2 card. What this does is you pay half your life points for cost. Target up to two Dinomorphia monsters that levels equal 8. So you could either target like Diplos and Etherzia, special summon them both. Get both effects when they're summoned. Or you can revive one of the big guys, the fusion monsters with this. I was playing this at 2, but I dropped it last night to 1 because it's a setup card, turn 2. I don't want to see this in my opening hand without a fusion spell, so I dropped it down to 1. Next, I play 2 Brutes. Brutes effect is you pay half your life points for cost. All of them pay half your life points for cost, which is the whole point of the deck. You'll see in the extra deck how that comes up. This is a pop one of your cards and pop one of your opponents. And then it's a normal spell, so it has the effect negation from the grave. Or the damage negation, is what I meant. Now we're going to the counter traps, and these are probably the best cards of the deck other than the fusion spells. I play 1 Sonic. Sonic is a spell or trap negate while you control Dinomorphia. It actually came in clutch in my round 3 against my friend Victor because I activated Wannabe on his turn to excavate, 5 because he had no spell and traps, and it revealed this, so I could set this for it being live on my turn before I even do anything. I summon Thurzia, try to activate the effect to set. He tries to infirm, and I automatically have this already active because I want to be setting it. And then also the counter traps, they all have the effect to where they can banish themselves, and you take no battle damage that turn. We got triple Dinomorphia intact. This card's crazy. This is basically a Solemn Strike. In-house Solemn Strike. If you control a Dinomorphia card, you can, and your opponent activates a monster effect, you can flip this, pay half your life points, negate that monster effect. And then in the graveyard, you can, during damage calculation while your life points are 2,000 or less, and you would take battle damage, you can banish this card from your graveyard, you take no battle damage from that battle. So triple of that. It's probably your best one to set off Thurzia to make sure your fusion spells don't get negated by Ash, because this can negate Ash. And that was one of the problems with the deck before, because this card is newer. You would try to fusion spell, and then like we were playing Strike before, and Strike pay is 15 instead of half. So sometimes you wouldn't even have 15 life points to activate Strike, and that would come up a lot. So this is, intact is just 10 times better than Strike, in my opinion. I play triple Judgment in the main deck. Pay half my life points, negate anything. Pretty free. Helps my deck out by paying half my life points. And then we're rogue, so unfortunately we do have to play, some unfair cards. So we do play triple Gozen match because our whole deck is dark. I set on my round 1. I activated Wannabe and set this as my Wannabe target on their turn, so it was live on my standby phase, so I could rip their board apart before I even commit to anything. Next, we play triple Skill Drain. Skill Drain is pretty free in this deck because Kentragina, one of your main fusions, is base 4,000 attack. So you just flip this and they just have to out a 4,000 beater, it comes up a lot. I would not play this deck without Skill Drain if I'm going to be honest. And then Wannabe setting Skill Drain for you to Skill Drain your opponent's whole board, pretty free. Then we'll go to the non-Dinomorphia normal traps. I played 2 Ferret Flames. Ferret Flames is actually insane in this deck because you can get to like, I think the lowest life points I had was 63 life points. What this card does is it makes your opponent shuffle monsters they control into their deck until their attack points on the field are equal to your life points. So if they have a giant board, you're at 63 life, there's no monster in the game with 6,300 attack points, so you just shuffle all of them back. With Ferret Flames, I actually tried something different. Once they went battle phase, I would, on attack declaration, activate Ferret Flames, shuffle them all back, and they have to go main too. They wasted their battle phase. Which came up a lot actually yesterday. I think I did it like 3 or 4 times yesterday to shuffle their whole board in the battle phase. And then we play Trap Tracks. I think this card's really good because what this card does is it's kind of like Trap Tricks. You target a monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, you could set any trap from your deck. Your monsters, like I said earlier, get effects when they're destroyed. They're reborns, so that helps you like not neg off of this card. You can set Ferret Flames with this. You can set any of the fusion spells, Brute, any of the normal traps. You can just set directly, and you can activate it that turn, which is really good. The only downside of this is it has the same restriction as Trap Tricks, that you can't activate traps the rest of the turn after that resolves. You can only activate like the one you set, basically, or one other trap. But it does search your whole deck because you're playing like 90% of your deck is normal traps. And then we'll just go to the extra deck really quick. We'll start out with the fusions. So we play 2 Stelbergia. This is literally only in here for Frenzy to dump it to the graveyard to fusion summon from the extra deck. I've never summoned this card. This card, I mean, it's okay. Its effect is you don't basically pay cost for your trap cards, which is fine. But the whole idea of this deck is to get as low on life points as you can. So usually you don't summon this thing, but it's just fusion material. Next, we have one of the better fusions, which is Kentragina. We have to play 3 of her. I tried to. Your grind game loses a lot if you only play 2, so I bumped it back up to 3. What her effect is quick effect. You can pay half your life points as cost and copy any Dinomorphia trap in your graveyard. So, like I said in the monsters, with Diplos can send any Dinomorphia trap directly from the deck to the graveyard, which makes Kentragina become that effect, if you really think about it, at quick effect speed, which is really good. Her base attack is 4,000, but her other effect is she does lose attack equal to your life points, which doesn't really matter because you're halving your life points like almost every card you activate. So you're going to be at like 500. So lowest she'll probably be is like 35, which is fine. Still big. And then we got Triple Rexstrom. This card is insane. This is the main boss monster of the deck. 3,000, 0 attack, level 8. His fusion materials are a Dinomorphia and a Dinomorphia from the extra deck. Dinomorphia monster and a fusion plus a Dinomorphia monster. So you can, usually you get this card out with Frenzy because you can send the Stealth Bergia to the graveyard and any Dinomorphia from your main deck to fusion summon this out. Is the easier way to summon it. Its effects are your opponent cannot activate monsters with attack equal or higher than your life points. So if you're at 63 life points, they cannot activate any monsters with 63 attack or higher, which is pretty sure every monster in the game. He's basically a walking Mystic Mine, so another reason why I like him. And then he has a second effect, which really comes up a lot more than I thought it would. You can, at quick effect speed, pay half your life points its cost. Your opponent's monster's attacks become equal to your life points. So if you want to do a lot of damage, you can quick effect in the battle phase. Quick effect, activate this, make all your opponent's monsters like 25 attack, depending on how low you get. You can shut effects off by activating this. It's just all around good card. And then the fusions all have the effect where if they die, they can special a Dinomorphia from the grave. And then we'll go to my links. I played one Nightmare Phoenix and one Yugioh. Phoenix never came up. He was just a placeholder. I didn't know what to put in this slot, but it was fine. Like I said, never came up, but I guess in theory this card can pop like floodgates that I can't deal with. Like there can only be one, stuff like that. Yugioh, I put this in for Victor because he was playing the Ibley lock at our locals, and I can't play through an Ibley lock, so I threw this in for him. He ended up not playing Cashtiera Dublin to play the Ibley lock, and he ended up playing Exosister. But my round 4 actually tried to Ibley lock me, and I was so glad I put this in my extra deck because I would have lost. And then we go to the rank 4s. The reason why you play like so many rank 4s is because of the Dinomorphia alert, because it can special summon Kenjigina and Diplos from your graveyard. That's two level 4s for free on either your opponent's end phase or your turn. So we just got a bunch of rank 4s we can go into. We have Baguska. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. You know, if you're in a real big pickle, plan B. So I'm playing B in defense, just wait. Pretty sure you'll draw enough traps to break their board anyway. We got Dolka. Dolka's really good. If you don't know what Dolka does, he is a monster effect negate that is not once per turn, which is pretty good. He actually helped me out Mosquito in my round 4. I'm pretty sure he was my only out to Mosquito, is this. And then we do play Lagia. Lagia came up, not a lot, but in theory this is fine because it's a judgment. It can negate summons, it can negate spell and trap cards, and it just takes 2 level 4 dinosaurs, which your main deck Dinomorphias are. And then we play Exoton Knight. I didn't summon Exoton at all during the tournament. The only Exes that I actually did summon during the tournament were the 2 dinosaur Exes. But in theory, Exoton is fine because like if you get blown out by, say, Eradicator through your trap deck, you can try to establish Exoton and blow all their stuff up too. So I mean, it was fine. It didn't come up, but I think this is still fine to have an extra. And then I do play the Zeus because you know you're playing what four Xyz monsters, and then you just slide Zeus. Zeus is, you know, really good card. So in general, and then we'll go to the side deck. We'll start with the traps first. I played 1 Dimensional Barrier because I side decked Triple Tactics Thrust, so technically there's 3 of this. This is all around good card. It stops cash, it stops, it can stop Sprite in like a pinch. It just stops a lot of decks right now, which is really good. We play 2 Eradicators. I really wanted to actually resolve this and see how well it was. But the thing about the tournament, I never went first. I lost every die roll and pretty much 2-0'd my opponents back to back, which is crazy. So this card never came in. But in theory, you can pop like Kenjigina and get 2 free summons off of it while ripping their spell traps. And you can set this with trap tracks, which is pretty good. I play double evenly.
Go ahead.
So, I am maining only 2 because I am playing Thrust in the side deck. A lot of my side deck is because I'm playing Thrust. But Evenly is just all around good card. Breaks boards. Dinomorphia doesn't really need its battle phase because it's a trap deck. You're basically going to go, alright, enter battle, end of battle, break their board, set 5, pass. Which I did a lot. Because I lost die rolls. I played Feather Duster. I don't know if Feather Duster is correct to play.
It won Nats.
It did. It did. So did Eradicator. But, you know, I didn't get to use Eradicator because I went second. But, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Harpies. Like, it's fine, I guess. But at our locals, there's not really a lot of back row decks. And the back row decks that are being played don't really care about this. So I might take that out for something else. I never cited this card, which is crazy. Thrust. This card is the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. I would very highly argue. This can grab you, you know, your sideboard cards. It can grab you your main deck cards, like your Frenzies, your Brute. It can grab you anything like that. This card is crazy. I play 2 Dark Ruler No More. I didn't know how I was gonna fare against Sprite. Like I said, the mosquito card they can play is kind of crazy against my deck. They can just burn me for 4K, and I'm already at like 63 life. So I was really scared of that deck. Which I did see it against Sprite, or yeah, I saw it against the Sprite deck, and it basically won me the game. So Dark Ruler's crazy. And then I didn't know what to put in for the other slots, so I just put in I put in 2 bells because I'm really scared of Labyrinth. Labyrinth is probably the worst matchup I could have because they're just way faster than me. And this hurts them. So I decided 2 of them just in case I went against Labyrinth. And then pretty generic hand trap, Droll. Basically, I would put Droll in almost every game because if I Droll you, you're probably not killing me that turn, which is all I need, and I'll just set 5 and pass back to you. But yeah, that is my first place undefeated Dinomorphia list.
Technically going second.
Technically going second because I never went first. But yeah, which is crazy to me because I'm playing a trap deck. I want to go first, obviously, but it worked out. So
going first, not necessary.
I guess.
All right, well, Austin, thank you so much for the interview on your first place deck profile. So happy to see a member of Team Number Hunters get the win. Not even 1 loss. You 2-0'd everybody.
2-0'd. I didn't lose 1 game, which really surprised me because, like I said, I went second every game.
Crazy. All right, any shout outs you want to give to anyone?
Shout out to Team Number Hunters. Shout out to, you know, Scalik over here. Check out his YouTube channel. Subscribe. Yeah. Shout out to everybody at the shop. Shout out to Dan. That's about it, I think.
Solid.